Welcome, everyone, to the Elevator Show here at NotInHallOfFame.com, where I, Kirk Buchner, along with Chris Mouradian. Hello. We,
Howdy.
yes, we look at the past month, and this month we're looking at July, although really the last 30 days, because I got a couple Augusts kind of sprinkled in here. And we're recording this on August 5th. And over the last 30 days, who has made their Hall of Fame case for their respective Hall of Fame? And well, who really hasn't? I've got actually, I just thought of another one off the top of my head. So actually, I have now seven.
Run with it.
When I forgot to write down when I heard the news of this. So
Yeah,
I should have sort of like put this there. But I guess since I might have a little bit more, I'm going to start if that's all right.
always your show. You can go ahead and start.
Okay. I'm going to go with the WWE Hall of Fame. And you and I had like when Hulk Hogan died, I did not realize how much you knew about pro wrestling at all. I mean, I know you don't watch it now,
Not too
but
much, no. Yeah,
yeah, but it was a bit. It was in the '80s you remember you grew up I guess on a lot of AWA because that was your territory.
exactly. Yep, the old Minnesota-based AWA with Vern Gagne as the promoter. Yeah, you got other stuff on the over the air channels.
Well, if Vern was still alive today, he would love this. Who I'm going to talk about now,
Okay.
because A, he's from Minnesota, and B, he's a real deal amateur athlete and a former UFC champion who made his return to
Hmm.
WWE. He was a previous elevator down because he got attached to, not attached to, he is attached to the Vince McMahon lawsuit, which is still ongoing. Actually, I read more about that today, but it's Brock Lesnar. Long story short, I thought he was dead in the water, never coming back to the WWE, but here he is. I'm guessing that this is at the request of John Cena, or they figured that, and maybe enough time has passed. I looked more at the amended complaints. I didn't realize how close he actually was, according to the complaint, of actually participating in this. Apparently, he did meet with Janelle Grant. That is I can say her name because it's out there, and she's come forward uh, with the allegations that Vince was going to traffic her to Brock. They did meet, but Brock was too drunk and could not perform. So
So alcohol saved him in that aspect.
uh, that's why I drink as much as I do. Not that I've ever been in a situation like that, but sure. So I guess I have Brock Lesnar, I guess, because he's back in the fold. And at his age, I want to say 45, 46. I could be off by a couple years, but either way, he's in his mid 40s. He's done enough to be a WWE Hall of Famer. They're also under the umbrella of TKO, which also owns the UFC. And let's just sort of be blunt. If you're going to be an abuser of women and want to be an athlete, you want to be under the TKO umbrella. I don't know how to put that any more delicately.
Yeah,
It's there's a lot of people upset about it, but he did get a huge reaction when he showed up.
yeah, that's a big
Uh,
pop.
yeah, so clearly not enough of one where there's going to be some people upset about it that he's back, but probably not enough that it's going to make much of a damage in their business.
Sure. Yeah. No. Interesting. I saw the tweets on that um over the weekend, I
Yeah.
believe, SummerSlam
Mm-hmm.
event, and yeah, it was an interesting event there with him coming out and Cena standing in the ring and getting getting dumped on his head there at the end. So
Yeah, actually, John Cena had his best match in maybe over a decade.
yeah.
It was, I was very entertained, let's just say.
All
Uh,
right.
yeah, that's sort of where I have. I've got another one that's sort of another WWE one, but it's only because he's
Okay.
on my radar now, and I never
Okay.
thought of him before. Do you know who Charles Robinson is?
Wasn't he the referee for a while back in
Still is,
WCW?
and he still is.
Still is? Okay.
Yeah, he got signed with the WWE, uh, and he's still there.
Okay.
And so I saw a tweet from somebody calling him the GOAT, and I thought, he's not the GOAT. Well, maybe he is. I mean, he's been doing this for nearly 30 years as a referee, and most of it on the big stage.
Mhm.
Uh, in the last 30 days, also, too, he took, there's something for you to YouTube after.
Okay.
Charles Robinson, who's 61, uh, does not look 61, does not move like he's 61. And when they did a last show in Saudi Arabia, he's running down the aisle as because they need another referee.
Okay.
And then he gets checked by Cena,
Okay.
takes a tumble. It's a bigger bump than I probably saw. Well, usually Cena take. And then at the last Saturday night's main event, he got speared by Goldberg.
Oh,
Yeah, where he, yeah, suffered an injury, but he's still working the ring crew at SummerSlam.
okay.
Shit. So I mean,
Okay.
he's still doing stuff, and I never thought of him as the GOAT. They don't have a referee in the hall.
Hmm.
I don't see that being a bad place to start. I mean, I guess you could say Teddy Long because he was a referee for a long time, but
Yeah. But
real
then he transitioned over to
to a manager,
manager.
yeah, and then on online, on screen authority figure.
Sure.
So yeah, Charles Robinson. I don't know that it's necessarily an elevator up. It's just like, you deserve to be in this elevator. I just never thought about you.
Yeah. No, I remember him from back WCW days, back during the Monday Night Wars.
Hmm.
He was always the
Little Nate,
the blonde hair
hmm,
referee.
and still
Yes,
is.
yeah, slight guy, not built like a wrestler or anything like that. So for him to be taking bumps like that is at his age, yeah, that's a big deal.
Look, just even, well, you're a runner. Just watch that rundown. That
Okay.
sprint he's doing from the back to back there, and just he's channeling the Ultimate Warrior back in the day.
Okay. I can picture that, yeah, because we've all seen that many times.
And yeah, why not him as the GOAT? He's now the senior official there.
Sure.
Uh, I mean, I think Earl Hebner should be in, but he left on bad terms.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Uh,
was the first one I thought of when you mentioned referees in WWE or WWF, whatever.
yeah, and I think he definitely belongs for the work that he did. He might be persona non grata there now. I don't quite know how. I think he's like basically was selling merchandise he shouldn't have.
Hmm.
So I guess if you're taking money out of their pocket, you get a little upset at that. And he
Yeah.
hasn't even been mentioned since. I don't even know how long ago he's been sort of kicked off of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I got for WWE, and I think the rest I have are baseball, and then the one thing I just remembered.
Sure. Yeah, and I got a lot of baseball myself too, but I got one that's not baseball here
All right, let's do
that
that.
I go ahead and start out with here, and that's United States distance runner Cole Hocker.
Okay.
Had another fabulous race. Came from behind to win another 5K here.
Mhm.
So U.S. champ again, and leading up into the next Olympics. He's going to be a couple years down the road still, but he's definitely putting himself in position to be a legitimate contender for medals come 2028, I
One
believe.
already, did he not?
He's won some medals already. Yeah, last Olympics he did medal. But now he's again taking U.S. championships in a little longer distance here. He was 1500 previously, so now he's up to 5K. So just a great runner. Somebody that you can really kind of pull forward. Not a big name, but just constantly you think he's out of it, think the race is over, and he finally finds a way at the end to push through. So just wanted to recognize his
Okay.
5K championship here and his continued steps towards the next Olympics.
Okay, then I'll actually do the one who I just remembered because that
Sure.
also falls in track, and that's an
Okay.
elevator down.
I know where this one is.
Okay, yeah, Sha'Carri Richardson. I'm a
Yeah.
fan of hers.
Me too.
Love someone with that kind of swagger.
Hmm.
And when she got bumped off, not last Olympics, but the Olympics before, testing positive for weed, I thought that was bullshit. I know that was against the rules, but she handled that about as classy as you could.
Right.
And then she kind of goes off the rails after. Uh, acts a fool on the in the worlds. There is a video of her basically getting kicked off a plane for being loud and obnoxious, and now she's leaving, saying that's okay, I fly private anyway. Like, but she had her come back in the Olympics, and she didn't win gold. She won silver, won gold in the relay. But now she got, is it arrested? I think arrested.
Was arrested, yeah.
Domestic violence for, I guess, beating up her boyfriend.
Yep.
Which I thought she was gay, but I guess she's bi. So maybe she had a girlfriend the last time I sort of looked up who she was dating or whatever. Either way, it doesn't matter. Because that's the first thing I thought of, domestic violence. Oh, fuck, she beat up. Like, she might as well go in the WNBA if she's doing that. But so she won't be competing in the worlds. Like, and you saw the attention she got on the Olympics, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people like me. There's a lot of people who just look at her as money, and she should be. She emulates FloJo, but she's not FloJo. She's never going to be FloJo because she keeps screwing up. And I say, elevator down for our United States Athletics Hall of Fame. By the way, you can go vote at www.theusahof.com. Do that after you've watched this whole episode. And
you can pause it right now and go. We'll wait for you.
All right. Thank you for doing that. And remember that this is the site where you are all deciding who is going to be part of the third class of the United States Athletic Hall of Fame. Chris and I are part of a pretty good committee where we've got a lot of writers, former athletes, whatnot. We just put up the people. It's up to you who gets in. Mm-hmm. And athletes, I believe, from 17 different sports. But it's not just our hall, which you might not even get a sniff at. It might be the Olympic Hall. It might be the U.S. Track and Field Hall. This could be one of those big things of wasted potential. I mean, we've seen people fall apart because of their PED use getting caught, like Marion Jones, for example. And here she just can't get out of her own way. And it's unfortunate because this woman's got charisma. She's got the look. She's got the personality. She should be 10 times the star in this country that she is.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got the talent to beat anybody, and just needs to get her act together, figure this stuff out. And reading the story that I was able to out of it, her boyfriend was very, gracious is the right word, but kind of downplayed it a little bit.
Self-defense thing, because I didn't go. Maybe I should have looked more in this story.
Kind of downplayed it a little bit. Didn't think it should have gotten to the point of an arrest and things like that. But at the same time, this sometimes these things are out of people's hands. You gotta, the laws are written in a way that make arrest a necessity in situations like this. So, yeah, I mean, she's still got, she's young, she's got talent, she's got they said the look, charisma, everything that she needs to be a superstar. And we need to read more about her wins instead of her off track antics and things like that here.
Yeah. And I'd like to think that she's better than this. I mean, obviously I don't know her on a personal level. I only know what
we can read. Yeah.
We read, what we see. But there are very few people I've ever seen. When you see, you don't even see somebody for the first time, be it an athlete or an actor or actress, singer, and you say, man, that person's got that it factor. Mm-hmm. Sha'Carri's got that it factor.
Yeah.
And man, I would hate to see this go down the tubes.
Yeah, agreed.
But the rest I have is baseball, and I think it's the same for you. So I will put the floor to you, sir.
Sure. Let's like I said, I got a little creative this month. So take a little bit of a liberty here. But
I have to also.
As we recorded a show last night with our buddy Dave Whitlock. Dave had just was shared with us his time in Cooperstown with the pro baseball or the Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. And now that the induction ceremonies are over, we can start looking ahead to 2020, the class of 2026. And the incoming class, really nobody stands out as being a first ballot type player that's going to be drawing a lot of attention. So that's going to leave some paths open for returning candidates. And so I wanted to mention Carlos Beltrán and Andruw Jones as two probably of the more likely elect the nominees are most likely to benefit from this weaker ballot this year and probably earn their elections for 2026. Both are really deserving candidates. Beltrán more with his all-around play, whereas Andruw Jones was really known for his defense, but still amassed some pretty significant numbers, including an MVP season in there. A lot of good power numbers too on Jones' part. So I think those two are the leading candidates going into the 2026 election, baseball election, Hall of Fame elections here. And now that the ceremony is over, it's time to look forward here to the next ballot.
Yeah, I think both of them have an excellent chance. I think Beltrán sort of paid his penance, so to speak, for his very prominent role in the Astros cheating scandal.
Yeah, bang a gong, get it on.
Are we flashing back to T-Rex, or it's a power station on that one?
I'm power station on that one.
Well, all right. Now for me, it's all T-Rex, but that's another story. Okay, so I guess I'll go next here. I'm looking at someone we already talked about yesterday, because we talked about the betting scandals in both basketball and baseball, and I'm going to talk about someone who's now elevator. It was already on life support because Emmanuel Clase, I think he has to be the first person in maybe all four sports to be suspended for gambling and steroids.
Yeah,
I can't think of one.
Yeah, he had the PED suspension in
2020.
2020. Yeah, so it kind of flew under the radar there with the way that season played out.
Mm-hmm. And the last 3 years, he's got a case as being either maybe not necessarily this year, but from 22, 23, no, 21, 22, 23, had the most saves in the American League, most games finished. He was third in Cy Young last year. He never has allowed more than 20 walks in a season. I mean, last year he only allowed 10 walks. I know it's a reliever. I don't care. That's sick. What would he have? Would he have 200? That's for another note for another thing. So either way, he was probably never going to get in because of the PED use. But if you put up a Mariano Rivera type career, you're going to survive the ballot, and you never know how attitudes will change in 15 to 20 years.
Right.
But now it looks like he's not coming back. Period.
Yeah. The other thing he had going for him too was his age. I mean, he was a younger guy still, 27 years old. I just pulled up his baseball reference page here. 182 career saves, 3-time league leader, 22 through 24. Yeah, I mean, he had the career going in his direction, and two major missteps.
Here's another thing that I just learned a couple hours ago as I was sort of like doing more research on Reddit and whatnot. And have you ever heard of, because I'm only 2 hours old since I've heard of this company, so maybe it might be the same for you. Finlete.
Never heard of it.
Apparently this company will basically give an athlete a loan towards a percentage of their future earnings. Clase last year took $237,000 to give up 0.29 of his future earnings. Which, I mean, I guess he's going to come out ahead now, unless there's a clause that says that
they're responsible to pay it back somehow.
I don't know.
Some way.
I just learned about this damn company, but that's a goddamn red flag. If I'm an owner, and I don't think you and I will ever be an owner of a team.
Probably not.
I don't think you and I could agree enough to be co-owners of a fantasy football team. But either way, that's a pretty big red flag. If you did that last year, not doing that in 2020, he did this last year. Basically, this tells me this is a guy who could get got to.
Sure.
Because you didn't save your money. And I get it. A lot of people are young and stupid. I was young and stupid. And first time I was making good money, and it wasn't like the money they're making. I fucked it up. But man, that's a major red flag. I imagine there's somebody already who's doing their diligence, and I'm going to look this up later and see how many athletes have actually. Maybe that's not even privy. It probably isn't. But I don't know how this was found out. But if you're taking this and you're already an established star, I'm worried as all hell that you're the type of person who's going to be doing that. And that's sort of like tagging in with our micro bets. So I guess on our proverbial elevator, he's not just out of the elevator plummeted. He plummeted so far, he's rolled down the hill from out that building, outside of the city and past the state of wherever this elevator is. This fictional elevator. It's done. It's over. I don't think he plays again. No, or not.
Yeah, no. Obviously, he's got to have his day in court. It's got, everything's got to go through the full inspection here. But yeah, to be, as you mentioned, previous PED user, now tied to gambling, and just the implications that could come from it. Does anybody want him? As opposed to let even if the league does not say your lifetime suspension, is another team going to be willing to take a chance on him with that kind of hanging over his head? So
no, I mean, I don't wish him bad.
No,
but I just don't see how any team's going to say, well, I don't think they're going to have an opportunity to say it. That's what I really believe.
Yeah, I mean, his contract, he's currently playing under 5 years, $20 million plus a couple of option years. Signed that back in 2022, so covered the 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 season. So he would have been coming up on, the next year being a potential free agent season with a couple of, like I said, option years. So, he's borrowing against, a $20 million contract he had signed. So you're right. That's a pretty big red flag.
Yep. I would have mentioned that yesterday if I knew about it, but I had no idea. So that is my elevator dead.
Okay. Well, I got an elevator up with reliever though. So let's kind of stay in the baseball with relievers here. Huh?
I wonder if it's the same one I have.
We'll soon find out. Kenley Jansen.
Okay, it's not, but yeah, go on.
Nice. So just looking back at his July, he had 5 for 5 in save opportunities, did not allow a run. He's currently the active leader in saves, 4th all time, behind 3 Hall of Famers in Hoffman, Mariano, and Lee Smith. So the path has been good for him, but he is getting older. He's 37, going on 38. Probably he's done enough at this point to be strongly considered, but you never know with relievers. It's still kind of a newer thing when it comes to Hall of Fame. So nice strong month like that. I think he was named the American League Reliever of the Month award this past July. So just continues to do what he's needs to do to continue to keep building that Hall of Fame resume. So that's my reliever elevator up. Okay,
well, I got someone who this year made the All-Star team, his first in years, and this is a shout out to my good friend Michelle out back in Jasper, Alberta. Michelle, you remember when you always texted me how much you hated Chapman? Because in 2022, he looked to be cooked, done, over, negative B war. He was a free agent anyway, but signed a lower contract with the Royals, traded to Texas, and then he signed a 1-year deal with Pittsburgh last year. And if you're a veteran and you sign with Pittsburgh, that's kind of all I need to know about where your career is at that point. But did okay for Pittsburgh. Not great, but did okay. This year for the Red Sox, who have just been incredible. I guess trading Devers was the key they needed for this year. We'll see. Obviously, I'll still say it's a stupid trade because they could have got so much more. But anyway, Chapman has been lights out. He is now an 8-time All-Star. And this is also why I mentioned the date as we're recording this. Also another 37-year-old pitcher. He broke 350 saves this year and is third all-time for lefties. Yes, Winnie, what is this? I know. His whip right now is 7.61, 1.21 ERA. If this holds, or even just gets a little bit worse, that's his best year ever. Best ever.
Yeah. He had some really strong years, especially with Cincinnati when he first came up.
Right, yeah. And if he can, I don't know what he's got left in the tank. I mean, I didn't see this year coming. I don't think any of us did. I don't think Boston did. And if the Red Sox go deep in the playoffs, it looks like they're going in the playoffs, Chapman's a big reason for it. And even if they don't go deep, he's a big reason why they got there in the first place. If Chapman gets in the Hall of Fame, and I don't know that he's going to, but if he survives the first ballot, it's all going to stem from what happened this year.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense there. Getting himself back on the radar, back on the All-Star team, with a winning team where he's going to be featured in, big games come September, October here. Yeah, that's great for him and great on him to persevere through some rough couple seasons there and come out of the other side smelling like a rose here.
Yeah, it's an incredible year. Good, yeah, like I said, good on him. So I only got 2 more, and it's kind of like elevator pause, elevator potentially delayed, and then elevator. I think it's down based on what I've seen this year.
Yeah, so I got a negative one here too, kind of similar to like we said with pause. So I'll just throw it out there, and maybe it's the same one you're thinking here. This is assuming it's baseball as well, and that's Mookie Betts.
Yep, that's the
All
one.
right. Yeah, I think this is one of the first times we've actually had his
Same in a
same
long
one.
time.
Yeah. So he's just looking at his career, he's probably done enough at this point that I don't think this season is really going to be one that's gonna prevent him from making it. But it's concerning because nobody really saw this coming. He'd been perennial all-star, playing with the Dodgers now, so he's in the limelight with their team constantly being a playoff and World Series contender. So did a little bit of research on him and what seems to be the problem. Bat speed. He's never been somebody with a very fast bat, but it's taken a step back this year, and that's obviously a slower bat leads to weaker contact. Weaker contact leads to balls not traveling as far. You follow the physics there, and the other thing is his approach with breaking pitches. Breaking pitches have just been his Achilles heel this year, and so once the book gets out on you, you're going to see that until you can prove that prove them wrong. Then they have to find something different, and so far he hasn't. So all seems like stuff that could easily turn around on him. Eye comes back a little bit with the breaking pitches, and the bat speed picks up a a tick or two here in the miles per hour, things could just, be next year right back to where he was in 2023, 2024. But as for right now, it's a blip. Does it become a blob, next year, or does it stay a blip?
You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, like Bo Bichette fell apart last year, and now he's back to being a top 20 guy or top 25 guy.
I think he
But
leads the league in hits right now, doesn't he?
I'm not sure.
Either the league or the all of baseball. I'm not 100%.
Okay. Well, I mean, but Bichette's younger.
He is younger.
Uh, I mean, for me, Betts, if I were to have a Hall of Fame vote right now, he to me, he's already done enough. He's got the MVP, 3 championships, 3 runner-ups for the MVP, which, I hold those top 5, top 10 MVP votes very, very highly in regard. But I, I was doing a lot of research too. Yeah, I saw the same thing, bat speed. Still making contact, but they're just not going as far.
Right.
So
Right.
defensively, he's still very, very good.
Yeah, he proved he can play short.
Yeah.
That's
It's, you don't move from right outfield to infield.
usually it's the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, Betts to me is there. So, like, I kind of wrote down he's going to get in the hall. Just the guy who was holding that velvet rope might just sort of go, Betts. He might take longer to find him on that list.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of what I have. And you have one more?
Yeah, I just want to mention too, though.
Okay.
YouTube channel Made the Cut is had a nice video on Betts and his struggles this year.
Mhm.
That I want to make sure to shout that out because that's where a lot of this information I got came from. So Made the Cut over here on YouTube. So check them out.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. Great channel. Love it. As much as I love that one, the Trevor Made Baseball is my new favorite. I think I said that yesterday.
You mentioned that. Yeah, that's another one I've bruised a few times myself.
Yeah. So the last one I got, I think I'm pulling the plug on his Hall of Fame chances. Someone I was much higher on, also 32, but this is his 3rd year of And if he finishes the way he is now, it'll be his 3rd straight year, I think, with an OPS plus under 100, which is not good. And that's San Diego's Xander Bogaerts. From 2018 to 2022, 5 years receiving MVP votes, peaked at 5th, but right now he's at that. He hasn't done enough. He's not in that Betts category by far. He's not compiling enough. He's just not an elite player anymore. Maybe he's got another all-star in him if he gets hot later, but it's going to get harder and harder. And we've now got a 2.5-year sample size, and it's just not there.
Yeah, when he came up with Boston, there it looked like he was going to be the next big star out of their from their team, and
it was
started out that way, and all stars, and the team was successful with him on it, and you're right, down he's just kind of falling off the radar completely here. Don't even remember seeing or hearing much about him all season long until you mentioned him this tonight. So
doing okay, but doing okay is not going to get you in the Hall of Fame.
No, not when you still need to be at his age building your resume. You're not coasting at this point. So
yeah, Betts can get that comeback because it's just this year. Since Bogaerts has been a Padre, he's been average at best, and that's not what they signed him for.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I guess we'll close with another plug. Check out everything else here we do at nothalloffame.com. There's the more regular Not an All-In show that's usually including the two of us and Dave Whitlock whenever we've got something to say. And sometimes I say a lot of bad things, which, yes, so be it. Also check out some of the other shows that we do. Vinny makes great Hall of Fame cases. So Vinny makes the Hall of Fame case for. I've got another interview coming up. I just talked with Maxie Bond's son, Mark.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's going to be up on the channel very soon.
Yeah, Maxie's senior candidate for Pro Football Hall of Fame, and somebody that's been overlooked for far too long. He's more than deserving of being enshrined in Canton, and here's hoping that some of these conversations you have here helps his case.
it's not looking too good, as we all know, based on how the seniors sort of really screwed themselves over with that
Well, the
rule. But so yeah, we talked a lot about that. Just talked about we started off the conversation just him growing up as the son of a star, and just when I talk to a lot of these people who are sons of famous athletes or whatnot, usually it's just everything seems so normal to them. But but then he's sort of like recounting stories about being at Jim Neighbor's house, his mom
nice.
playing bridge with Rock Hudson, uh, and how he was actually at the White House with a picture with Richard Nixon. So
Oh,
I
very
mentioned
cool.
that, and I said, like, yeah, I'm doing my research on you. Like, are you one of the kids there with? Because I didn't know how many brothers he had. With Richard Nixon, and he pulls that because he had it right there in his office. So,
Oh, very cool. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely look forward to that show when it
yeah.
releases here.
So all those things that we do, and again, we always ask you to check out the USAHOF, www.theusahof.com. Lots of baseball players on that list.
Yeah.
So you can check those out. Maybe if you're watching this, you're probably into all sorts of sports, but help us decide who's going to move on. It's all up to you.
Vote
Not up
daily.
to us.
Yeah, you can vote daily.
You can.
Coaches. There's coaches category. There's contributors category. So you got three different
Mhm.
chances to vote on every day. So
Yeah.
please help us out.
You can vote for one of Chris's favorite contributors, Bud Selig, who's on the ballot first time. No, huh? Okay.
Nah. Hey, you vote for who you want. I vote for who I want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as I always close off, wherever you are, wherever you may be, make today count because it never comes again. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.